Ohayo gozaimasu. Ryumemashite.
Welcome to what I imagine will be totally not controversial video. I've been wanting to make this for a while. After finishing UDG, I thought, hey, you know what? Let's finally do a tier list for Danganronpa. And you may be thinking, you haven't watched all the anime. How can you give a proper representation of all the characters? Well, that's a true statement, so we won't be doing any of the anime characters. We'll be doing Dangan 1 through 3 and UDG. And you know what? Let's all be civil about this. I have a strong feeling that some people may be a little upset with my choices, given the fandoms has its favorites, to say the least. But let's give this a try nonetheless. Let's go over the ratings first, though. So we have B, which is average. A, good. S, very good. S plus, my personal favorites. B, C, below average. D, very below average. And trash, complete fucking trash. Don't worry, there's gonna be a lot in this category. I just have to tell you that right now. I definitely have some things to say about a certain few of these people. Same with the S plus though, you know. I give and take. I am a happy person and a sad person. So I have done it in an order so that it's not just random. So I pretty much did Dangan 1, Dangan 2, Dangan 3, blah blah blah. So, you know, for my OCD. Let's start with number 1 though. Now, Monokuma. I know Monokuma is technically different across the three, but let's refer to this as Monokuma from Trigger Happy Havoc. So Monokuma and Trigger Happy Havoc, how do I say this? I think Monokuma may be one of the best mascots of all time, if I'm being dead honest with you. I really do think the design of Monokuma and how Monokuma acts is probably in the top 3 best game mascots of all time. I can think of very few that even come close to him. So we're starting off really strong. Monokuma is an S+. 100% S+. I love Monokuma. You know, if you watch my videos, you've seen me talk about my fucking Monokuma like stuffy collection. I got a bunch of Monokuma figures. It's a little bit of a problem if I'm being honest with you. It's okay, maybe we're talking too much about this. You know, I don't want you guys to think I'm some total freak. Okay, moving on. Makoto Naegi. So Makoto, easily the worst protagonist. Just saying that right now. Easily. It's not even close. In fact, I like all the other protagonists way more than him. So, but you know, at the same time, he's not like terrible. Let's turn off that Persona music. So I would put him as a C. I think a C is a good spot for Makoto. He's not terrible, but he's definitely below average. Just because, you know, throughout Trigger Happy Havoc, I haven't played it for a while, but still, I still remember him being not so good in it. And I'm gonna stick to that. I really don't think he's that great. So, you know, sorry Makoto. Easily the worst protagonist, and it shows being in the C category. Okay, let's continue. So, Kyoko. I like Kyoko. I like Kyoko a lot. Some people see her as waifu bait for the fucking normies out there. What's that even mean, first of all? Waifu baits. And second of all, I think Kyoko's a great character. I think she was easily one of my favorite characters of Trigger Happy Havoc. And she added a lot to the story, and she was easily the smartest one. So yeah, I would say Kyoko is a solid S. And you may be thinking, whoa, you're putting so many people up in those 2 categories so far. Listen, don't worry, there's gonna be lots of fucking trash, there's gonna be lots of Ds, you don't need to worry about that. Okay, it's gonna be all nice and balanced, I can assure you. Let me just take a sip of water here real quick. Okay, Junko Enoshima. Okay, Junko Enoshima, how do I feel about this? If you ask me Junko Enoshima after 1, I would say probably S+. But because Danganronpa, spoilers by the way, constantly reuse Junko Enoshima, she's only gonna be an S. She's still an amazing character, and I think has one of the funniest personalities across her many. But I think, first of all, great character design from an aesthetics perspective. Second of all, her personality traits are funny as hell. And overall, another great character. So we're definitely starting off pretty strong here. This is definitely skewed in one direction, 100%. But yeah, anyway. Let's see here. Hina. Aoi Hina. So I liked Hina, if you watched me play Trigger Happy Havoc. I think Hina was pretty solid for the most part. Little dumb, but you know, she was cute. You know, her and Sakura had a nice little relationship. So I would definitely say Hina would be, yeah, say an A. You know, A/B. I'd probably say A. She was above average for me personally. I liked her. Pretty good amount. And yeah, you know, she also likes donuts, and I like donuts, so works for me. Okay, I can't even remember this guy's name. I want to say Ishimaru. I did not like this guy. I thought he would be kind of cool. He was not so cool. He's gonna be a C from me. He was like really stuck up. He was fucking, nah. Just like, I don't know. I just didn't like the guy. He definitely has a personality I would never get along with in real life. And so that's all I really gotta say about it. He was, you know, he wasn't terrible. He was kind of like Makoto, just not great. Okay, damn, I can't remember this guy's name either. I think it was Mondo. So Mondo, I originally liked Mondo at the start, right? You know, he's like the funny biker gang type dude, you know, whatever. He was pretty cool for the most part. Again, spoilers. And then he just had to go kill someone. In a really fucked up way too. Like a really fucked up way. So Mondo is also going to be a C. I would probably put Mondo at an A if it wasn't for that, but that was just terrible. I didn't like that at all. Especially because, you know, the whole backstory behind him and Chihiro and everything, I didn't like that, not one bit. Okay, Sakura. I don't have much to say about Sakura, you know? I think she was decent, but not great at the same time. Pretty much just an average character. I just put her as a B, you know? Pretty cool design, the whole schoolgirl outfit being way too small for her. That's pretty funny. But yeah, overall, not really a huge fan. Okay, Hagakure. Can't remember this guy's first name for some reason. Not sure why that is. Yeah, Hagakure, you know, I think he was funny for most of the game. And then there was that one case where you had to convince him that Kyoko wasn't a ghost. And it was so stupid. And he just progressively got more stupid. So I'd actually put him as a B. He was gonna be an A, but he's gonna be a B for me. He's not great, you know, he's stupid, he's got some funny lines, kind of balances out, kind of. Alright, so let's do a recap. We got 1 S+, 2 S's, 1 A, 2 B, 3 C's. Pretty balanced, I'd say, for the most part. Maybe a little bit above average, probably. Okay, so we have Chihiro. So Chihiro definitely will be an A. I like Chihiro. I think she's a pretty good character. He was a pretty good character. And, I need to stop doing that. Especially with the whole thing with, wasn't called Alter Ego, was it? Or maybe it was. Anyway, Chihiro Robots. Chihiro AI. I like that whole arc of the game. And I think Chihiro even had some involvement in it too, if I remember right. My memory's not so good though. So that was good. That was good. I think Chihiro's definitely a solid A. You know, also, by the way, I'm taking into account backstory, because it's not like I just played the game. I have done all the report cards for every single character in the games. You know, I haven't 100%ed the achievements or anything like that. Well, I have for Trigger Happy Havoc and UDG, but doing all the achievements in 2 and 3 is pretty terrible. So, but I've done all the important parts, so that's what matters. Okay, sip of the agua time. Okay, let's move on. Okay, so Ishimaru on crack, whatever this was. I think it was like Mondo and Ishimaru was like combined together or something like that. Yeah, that's a D. I think that was super annoying. He somehow got more annoying. I don't have much to say about this. He didn't have a huge part to play, but whenever he was there, he was really fucking annoying. So that's gonna be a D. Okay, we got a good one now. Byakuya. How do people feel about Byakuya? Some of my friends don't like him. Some of my friends really do like him. I would definitely put him as a pretty close to an S, but barely, just barely an A. I know, it's Damn, if he had a bigger role in UDG, I thought he was gonna have a big role in UDG. If he had a bigger role in UDG, I would put him as an S, but very close though, very close. Like it should be like, I almost want to create another row. Well, yeah, it's okay. This is what we'll do. We'll have it so left is best and right is worse. So I would put her, there we go. I think that's a fair one right there. Yeah, this looks good to me for the most part. Let's move you there. Ooh, do I think Junko is better than Kyoko? Yes, I do. Okay, this looks good for now. Alright, Celeste Ludenberg. So, I like her A aesthetic, the whole goth Lolita thing. But, yeah, she was kind of like a faker, quite literally too, and mentally. So I'd probably put her as a B. Yeah, like not amazing, but not great at the same time. It definitely balanced out for the most part, if that makes sense at all. I don't know. It's hard to really evaluate. Yeah, I'd put her as a B. Now, is she worse or better than these two? I would say that. Nani. I would say she is a tiny bit better than Hero. Yeah, I'd say that. Okay, so we have this guy. I don't actually remember his name, but I remember his character very well. Yeah, that's gonna be a D from me. Not whole into the, you know, sweaty fucking perverted otaku type fat stereotype. It's just no. No, it's not for me. I'm gonna take a pass on that one. He's gonna be a D. He's not worse than him though. Definitely not. Okay, let's see here. Chihiro, and I don't really see a point to have her here, so let's just put her back at the bottom. Okay, so Sayaka. So if you guys remember, I really like Sayaka at the start of Trigger Happy Havoc. I think she has a super cool aesthetic. I think she has an interesting backstory. She has a nice voice actor. So I do like her, even though she pretty much said, go fuck yourself to me by trying to get me killed. But yeah, I'd say definitely an A. I'd say she's better than Hina and Chihiro, but not as good as Byakuya. I'd say that's fair. Yeah, I think that's fair. That's a good one. Okay. Looks like we're almost done with the characters from Trigger Happy Havoc. I hope I didn't miss any. It doesn't look like it. Okay, so we got one more character. Save the best for last, right? Kappa. He's fucking trash, man. This is more personal than anything, but it's because I liked Sayaka so much at the beginning, and he turned out to kill her, and he took his punishment like such a fucking dweeb. You know, that argument, the closing argument or whatever, he just kept saying the same thing over and over. I just didn't like him. So, yeah, he's definitely in the trash category. So all in all though, the Trigger Happy Havoc cast, I'd say it looks like it's about between A and B. I think that's not so good actually, because I think the cast from 2 might beat them from a level of just admiration from me. I think for the most part though, yeah, you know, Trigger Happy Havoc was probably still my favorite game out of the 3, or out of the 4. Simply because of the surprise factor with Monokuma. Never seen Monokuma before, never seen Junko before. You know, it kind of had like founder's advantage, if that makes sense at all. So let's move on to UDG, which by the way I think is severely underrated. I think the UDG is amazing, and if you haven't played UDG, you definitely should, especially if you like 1 and 2. It doesn't really matter if you play 3. If you like 3 a lot, you probably won't care for UDG. But if you like 1 and 2, you will love UDG, in my opinion. So let's start with Komalu. So Komalu is the main character of UDG. She's cute. She's definitely better than Makoto. Way better than her brother. I would put her probably at an A. Yeah, an A actually. Slightly better than Byakuya. And I know that sounds crazy, but she, first of all, you have a lot of time spent with her. And she grows a lot, and she's just a nice person, and she has some really good character development. So I would definitely put her at an A. Okay, so you may be wondering, well, where's Toko? So I decided to put Toko in the UDG category because, you know, you hang out with her pretty much the whole game, so you get a much better semblance of her and whatnot. So, yeah, I would definitely say Toko from UDG is also an A. And I would put her just below Byakuya. Toko in Trigger Happy Havoc would be a C or D for me. But in UDG, she pretty much changed everything, so yeah, that was great. I definitely like Toko a lot. She, you know, you got to see like a new side of her and everything, and you got to see how she cared for Komaru and whatnot, so yeah, I definitely think that was great. And yeah, just play UDG. If you haven't played it, played it. I just finished it the other day, and it was amazing. So definitely play it. Okay, so Genocide Jack, or Genocide Jill as I like to say. Not much has changed really. I think Genocide Jill is maybe like a, just average, nothing great, nothing terrible, just, I mean, it is what it is. Not really a fan, not really not a fan. So I think it's fair to say she would be a B. And I would say she's better than, yeah, I'd say she's better than all these people. Definitely. I think that's a fair spot to put her. Okay, so moving on to the Monokuma variants, if you could call them that. So, Monokuma. Number 1, Shirokuma, or Kurokuma. Kurokuma's pretty funny. Nothing special, you know. I think after seeing the ending for UDG, I definitely like Kurokuma and Shirokuma a little bit more. I can't spoil, of course. I refuse to spoil this because some of my friends haven't played UDG. Okay, I will spoil it. I will spoil it. So if you're watching this and you want to play UDG, skip ahead like 5 minutes or something. After finding out that Shirokuma and Kurokuma are both personalities of Junko, I think that was so fucking good, man. That was so good. I love that part so much. That was probably one of my favorite scenes ever in the Dangan series. Because for some reason I just didn't think about it. Like, the way they did it was so good, and I definitely loved it. So I would say, gotta think about this one for a second. I would say, I would probably put Kurokuma at a A. A and B. I mean A, 2 A's. I would say they were pretty funny, man. I don't know. I know people seem like, people are gonna be like, whoa, you're so biased. Like, stop it right now. But I would definitely say, yeah, I would say they're better than Hina too. I really like them, man. I don't know why. That last scene really changed it for them. First of all, I like Shirokuma a lot. Kurokuma I didn't really care for. I'd say I like, you know, Shirokuma a little more than Kurokuma. So I think that's a fair spot to put them. Maybe just a little higher. Little bit higher. They were so good, man. That scene was so fucking good. I don't know why. It like tickled my like happy bone. Okay. So now we got the 5 Warriors of Hope. I would say I really don't care about any of these except for one. I mean, it's like, I feel bad for them, right? Because they had like all fucked up childhoods except for one of them, pretty much. So I would say, like, but at the same time, they're shitty. So I just like put them in here. Like, pretty much just put all of them, but 2 of them in there. That's how I would put it. They're just like not greats, you know? Like, they're just like, eh. Okay, I wouldn't say it's that bad. That guy's worse than him. I think that's a fair spot to put him. I just don't want to go into it. I didn't think they were that great characters, especially these 2. I mean, you barely even meet these 2. It's like this guy's dad beat him, this guy's mom like pretended he was ugly, this guy's mom and dad want him to be like a science experiment or something like that. So, it is what it is. Moving on. So we have, God, I can't even remember her name. I just remember Futaba plays her, voice actress. Oh god, what is her name? That is embarrassing. Should really find this out. What is that shit called? UDG Kids. Kotoko. Yeah, Kotoko. That's right, Kotoko. So I like Kotoko a lot, actually. Yeah, Kotoko I think was a pretty solid character. She was pretty funny. I would say she's like probably a bottom of the A. And this A is getting a little too filled up, I'd say. I think she's a solid B. You know, she was like pretty funny, and she like went onto your side at the end and whatnot, kind of. So yeah, I'd say she's a solid B. Okay. Now we have Monica. How do I say this? Is Monica trash? It's quite a good question, actually. I would say Monica is trash. Yeah, I would no. Monica's a D. Yeah, Monica's a D, a really bad D. Not trash though. Cause you know, she was like a total fucking nutjob and a total cunt, but she wasn't trash in my eyes at least. Pretty bad though. Pretty damn bad. That's one of our lower ones for sure. Play the game if you want to find out why. Take me like an hour to explain it. Blah blah blah. So this is like the side characters now of UDG. So this is like Hina's brother or something. You only see him for like a few minutes. He's definitely a C. He's just like whatever. Like I don't know. He was kind of annoying when I met him. Didn't really have a lot of stuff to talk about. It's just like eh. Okay, let's get through this a little quicker. Taking a little too long with the side characters. Actually, is he worse than Mondo? Probably, I don't know. He has such a small, like, role to play, I just don't care. So this is Chihiro's dad. Chihiro's dad was definitely better than the kid. So Chihiro's dad is like a B. We don't really know anything about him, but he seemed like such a nice guy, and I felt really bad, so definitely put him as a B. This is Hilo's sister. Probably a little bit better than him, but not much. I'd say that's a good spot, right next to each other. So this is Haiji Toa. This guy was a little bit of a cunt, actually. Like, I understood the things he did, but he was still kind of a bastard. So I would say that Haiji was, yeah, kind of a C, man. Kind of like a... Yeah, he can be next to the kiddos. He was definitely kind of a bastard. Yeah. Okay, so that's the UDG lineup. UDG lineup. That was pretty balanced, honestly. Maybe a little bit on the lower side, maybe. But yeah, I'd say that's a fair semblance. I feel like people are gonna be a little upset at my Kurokuma and Shirokuma, but you know, don't really care. It is what it is. Okay, so now Dangan 2. I think Dangan 2 has a really good cast. Like, there's a few Dangan 2 characters that will definitely be in the S+, I can tell you already. So let's start with them right now. And that is fucking Chajime Hinata. This dude, probably my favorite character in the whole series. I think Chajime is a fucking... He's just so cool, man. Like, I love his character design. I love his final arc in the game. I love this guy. He's definitely my favorite character so far. He's going into the S+. Okay, so now we have Izulu. So Izulu definitely has more of a semblance in the anime. But Izulu also shows up at the end of UDG, which is amazing, by the way. Love that scene. So I would say Izulu is definitely... Okay, so not thinking about the anime, he's probably an A. Just for how interesting he is as a character. And he can be right next to Kurokuma. You know, because they're all together at the end. I think that's a good spot to put them. Okay, so now we have Chiaki. I think Chiaki is a fucking amazing character. I think Chiaki is a solid S. Better than these two, for sure. And I know people are gonna be like, whoa, this is such a normie fucking list. Yeah, it's a normie list because normies usually have good opinions. And Chiaki is a good character. So take that as you will. Like, she's just good, man. She's a solid fucking character. She's got an amazing aesthetic. You know, she cares for... Well, first of all, her and Chajime are canon. Okay, I'm just saying that right now. And the only other relationship Chajime has is... Well, we'll get to that later. But yeah, I think that's nothing more to be said about that. Okay, so now we have... Damn, we're getting to the end of this, huh? Not really. Actually taking my sweet time. It's already been 25 minutes. So now we have Monami. Yeah, Monami's a cute little thing, you know? Like, kind of funny, kind of not funny. I'd say more funny for the most part. Probably an A. She can be right there, sure. Right there. Right there. Whatever, they can all be nice and together, nice and snug together. People are gonna be like, what? What? You think Monami's better than Hina and Sayaka and Chihiro? It's like, yeah, I probably do. Just because these three characters, except for Hina, didn't really have any, like, barely any time to get to know them. First death. Second death? Or third? Second or third? Okay, so Fuyuhiko. I think Fuyuhiko is criminally underrated. For some reason, people don't seem to like him. He is definitely an S, but he's a bottom S. He's not as good as Junko and Kyoko and Chiaki, but he's definitely an S. So, yeah. He has some... first of all, he has some of the best character developments, probably in the whole series. And I know it happened because of the, you know, whatever, the despair syndrome thing, but still. Really good. Really, really good. Okay, so now we have Peko Pekoyama. Do you really care about Peko? Probably just a B for me. I admired her admiration for Fuyuhiko. But yeah, I'd say, for the most part, just a B. You know? Definitely not a low B. Like a middle of the pack B. Yeah, that seems good. Oh, people are gonna be so mad about this. Kodako being in front of Handsome Jill, or Genocide Jill. Oh well, what are you gonna do? Okay, so now we have, oh god, what's her name? Burpee Lady? Asui? Aina? Starts with an A. Okay, whatever. I did not like her that much as a character at all. I think she was like, okay. But the whole burping thing, and whatever, always trying to get into fights, not a huge fan. So she's gonna be a C. Should probably move some of these down here, shouldn't we? We really should. I would say this guy's actually a D. He's so nasty in the game, man. And he talks so slow. Yeah, I think that's good. Okay. Yeah, she goes right there. She's better than these dudes, but not better than Makoto. I think that's a fair assumption. Okay, so now we have Sophia. I thought Sophia, when I went into the game, I was like, damn, I'm gonna like this chick so much. I really didn't. She is definitely an average, a low average. She just like, kind of like the whole, she was kind of dumb and just a little strange almost, if that makes sense. So yeah, she's gonna be a B. I would say she's slightly above Celeste. They're both royalty, well one of them is anyway. And so they can be next to each other, nice and snug. Okay, so now we have Soda. Feel bad for my boy Soda getting cucked, but that's what happens because he was kind of a doofus. I'd say Soda is a high B. You know, it's pretty average for the most part. I didn't care for him that much. He did make it to the end. Here, you know what? We'll make it romantic. They can be next to each other. Okay, so Nagito. So after seeing Nagito in UDG and Goodbye Despair, definitely, this is one of the most overrated fucking gut. No, I'm kidding. Good word. What? Dude, fuck this guy. No, he is definitely an S+. I always talked about how much I like Nagito. I think him and Chajime are some of the best characters in the game. Not as good as Chajime, but better than Monokuma. And that says a fucking lot. I definitely want some Nagito figures, but they're either sold out or scalped, so gotta wait. It's okay. It's okay. Okay, Gundam. Yeah, this is when I start getting the hate mail. Yeah, that you know what? Maybe I'm too old for this. The ripe age of, you know, 50, but this is not so good, man. It's definitely a low C. I won't do this to you guys. I won't make him as low as him. I won't make him as low as that guy either. But yeah, no, not very funny. I did not find this guy too funny. He had like a couple good moments, I think. Can't remember too well actually. Maybe he didn't. Yeah, he's gonna be a C. Definitely not that great. God, what is this chick's name? Mahilu? Yeah, I remember her being quite annoying. And, like, saying men should do certain things. Yeah, I don't know what generation you came from, woman, but we don't like that here. So you can go... Probably... Yeah, it seems like a good area. Yeah. Just, below average for being such a fucking wuss sometimes. Alrighty, let's see here. Mikan. Mikan is definitely an A. Mikan, lewd. Lewd, but very fun. You know, like she added a lot to the game. And no, I'm not... No horny brain. Okay, because I just don't get horny. Okay. But definitely an A. And I would say... What would I say? Do I think she is better than all these people? That's a tough one, man. It's a very tough one. Okay, because the problem is Shirokuma and Kurokuma, they represent Junko, a personality of Junko. And I love Junko's personality so much. So it's very hard, man. It's gonna be right there. I know you guys are probably thinking, Jesus Christ, this man is so stupid. But Kurokuma and Shirokuma are just really fucking good. I just like them a lot, simply because of what they stand for. Okay, so, Nekomaru, or whatever this guy's name is. I can only ever remember the fucking... Yeah, I think it is Neko, actually. Yeah, this dude is trash because he's really gross, and he yells a lot, and he has a very strange... I just don't like him. I'm just gonna leave it at that. He is definitely trash. I just don't like the whole pooping thing. Okay, pooping... Talking about poop is disgusting. Not a fan of it. And... Yeah. I don't even remember his report card being that good. Because I obviously did it. So it is what it is. And guess who's joining him? This fucking bitch. This weirdo, manipulative little lolly. That's a fat no from me there, chief. She's not as bad as Nekomaru, or she's not as bad as Leon, but definitely not as good as Nekomaru. So yeah, that's a big fat garbage for me, so. Okay, Ibuki. So Ibuki, I think Ibuki was like okay. She had some funny moments. Yeah, I definitely say she's a high B. Probably right there. Yeah, that seems like a good spot. Why do we have this Persona 4 music playing? Spotify doesn't know to stick to a certain thing, does it? Get a little heat up now. Yeah, so I say Ibuki, definitely a high B. She had some funny moments, she had some funny sprites, you know, I don't really have anything against her, so... I think she's pretty high B. Okay, let's do a recap. I just want to make sure there's nobody in a area here. Do I really think Celeste is better than Hero? Probably not. I'm gonna do some reworks here. Okay, so we have another trash. I'm not even kidding you, man. 2 has so much trash and so much good. It's really a mixed bag. So yeah, this guy, whatever his name was, the Louisiana boy, Pompu or whatever. Yeah, I did not like this guy. He was fucking weird. He was perverted. No, he was strange. Definitely was fine with him going out first. So, works for me. Let's see here. The imposter. I just don't really care for this guy, just simply because he's, you know, acting as an imposter for one of my favorite characters. And he makes him look so bad. So, it's gonna be a C from me. I'm gonna say... Probably a little bit better than this group. Yeah, I think that's fair. Okay, so we're done with Danganronpa. Yeah, Danganronpa had some pretty yikes characters, man. Some really good ones too at the same time though. 2 S pluses and S, 3 trash, Not so good. Not so good at all. Okay, so moving on to V3 now, which I still think is a really good game, but whatever, man, that ending fucking got me in a bad mood, so it is what it is. Are we missing some people? No, I don't think so. Okay. So again, I'm not doing anybody I'm not doing anybody from the anime. So take that as you will. Gonna get some water. Alright, so let's start with Shuichi. So Shuichi, a lot of people like Shuichi, and I can agree with that. I think Shuichi's pretty solid character for the most part. I'd say he's just below Byakuya. People are gonna be like, what? That low? Yes, that low. Because he's still stupid, and he still has some really stupid moments. And in the end, he did have Kaede killed for something she didn't do, so hee XD. Still a little mad about that. To be fair, the fucking mastermind did cheat, so it is what it is. Speaking of Kaede, yeah, she is such a good character, especially if you do her after-school program. Yeah, that was it was the only time in the whole series I cried. Yeah, that was bad, man. That was a bad one. That was like that got me pretty fucking bad. So I would say she is a low S. Not better than those, but still really good character. Yeah, that was a really sad scene. That was a sad scene. That was bad. Okay, so now we have Hiyoko. Hiyoko started off as like a literal D, but I think she's actually like a high C now. Yeah, probably the highest C out of this group. She definitely redeemed herself a little bit in the later chapters, I'd say. Okay, so we have Kaito. So Kaito is... Kaito is, I think, a really strange character. Because he has his ups and downs, but at the same time, he's just kind of like shit. If that makes sense. So he would be a C. He would definitely be a C. I would say... worse than Mondo. It's kind of what I'm using as a barrier right now. I think he's right here. Yeah, I think that's a good place for him. You know? I think that's good. That's a good one. Okay, so now we have Kibo. So Kibo, I don't know what to feel about Kibo, man. Like Kibo, the fact that they gave Kibo pretty much the spotlight at the end of V3, I think was really strange. Yeah, I'm not really a huge fan of it at all. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, I would say Kibo is maybe a B, like a mid-low B. Like, not so good. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, just... It was really weird sometimes with the whole robophobia. And the fact that they gave him such a huge part in the end, I think was stupid. So yeah, he's just gonna be a B. He's just like, kind of like, eh. Like, eh. Like, really just meh. Okay, so now we have the maid. What's her name again? Kulumi? Kilumi? Yeah, I'd say Kilumi is another B, just kind of like, eh. I don't really care about this character too much. She didn't have a huge role to play. You know, she was like the president or whatever, so prime minister, so take that as you will, but... Yeah, I'd say I'd put her just probably below... Probably just below there. I'm gonna move for you too. Yeah. I think that's a good one. Just kind of like, eh. I don't know, man. There's a lot of meh characters in the Dangan series. There's a lot of filler characters. And obviously they're filler because of the fact that, you know, you can't... they die so quickly, so obviously you can't have them have a lot of exposition and exposure. So, it is what it is. Okay, so now, moving on to... Definitely not a controversial character at all. Kokichi. here's the thing with Kokichi. How can you even like this guy or dislike him? Because we literally know nothing about what he is. Because he's a pathological liar. So he could be a great person or he could be a terrible person. Probably more on the terrible side, if I'm being honest with you. So he's gonna be, but this sounds fucked. This sounds fucked, right? But because of his ability to have such a huge impact on the game, in a way where I still no idea what the type of person he is. And see, this is where I'm gonna start getting the fucking flame. He's actually an A because of how big an impact he had and how good he was at having, you know, like I said, an impact on the story. And how we still don't really know what type of character he is. Even with the writing from the fucking dumb bitch. So he's gonna be an A. But at the same time, I can't put him up too high. So he's gonna be like an... Yeah, that seems like a good spot. People are gonna be so mad. Manami in front of Kokichi. Listen, he was gonna be way lower. So take that as you will. I'm trying to be unemotional here. As you can tell, I'm really being unemotional. So, yeah. Okay, so next we have Kibo, or Kyo. So I like Kyo a lot, actually. I thought it was really interesting, character design and the way he acted. Until I figured out that he killed hundreds of people, and he had an incestual relationship with his sister. And then I was like, yeah, I don't know so much about this guy. So he's gonna be a high B. So that definitely knocked him down a few. Okay, Maki roll. Let's just get this done real quick. This is gonna get so many people mad. Listen, I think Maki first of all, I love her aesthetic. You don't know how much I like red and black. And first of all, she had a huge impact on the story. She had some of the best sprites in the game. She had some of the best voice acting. She had some of the best character development in V3. Like, she genuinely changed over time like Shuichi. Definitely an S+. Also, she's fucking hot, so take that as you will. Okay, so here's the waifu bait of V3. Listen, I get it. Booba booba. Okay, we get it. Booba. Booba booba. But Miu, you know, she actually was smart. And she actually did have an impact on the story. And she actually did have an interesting report card and whatnot. And she made some interesting things. So you know what? She does deserve a high rating. She definitely deserves a high rating. So I would say... very high A, probably. Just behind Byakuya. I know you're probably thinking, can you shut the fuck up with Byakuya? Listen, this guy in Trigger Happy Havoc was so good. And in UDG, he was pretty good. He didn't have that much of a position, unfortunately, but he was still really good. Okay, so now with the Monocubs. So the Monocubs are so fucking bad compared to the rest of the Kumas. So Monotaro, I think, was a B. I'm not going to put too much effort into these. Just kind of like, whatever, just go there. You are trash, though. You are definitely trash. This guy's pretty trash, too, but he's still a D. He's not total trash. You two can go next to each other. Yeah, I think that's fine. The Monocubs definitely lost their charm after that bug scene, specifically with these two. Just say, no. We don't talk about that. Okay, so you want to talk about another character that fell like 2,000 places after a certain chapter. What's her name? Bayonala. What's this girl's name again? Angie. Yeah, Angie was like super not great after that chapter where she formed a student council. She was definitely like a high B, but then after that student council thing, she's a C. She's like right there. She's really not that good. That really got me pissed off, if I'm being honest with you. So, yeah, I'm not a fan of that at all. Not one bit, actually. So, she's gonna be a C. Okay, so now we have Gonta. Gonta, another thing where I thought, this guy's kind of funny. You know, he's got like a funny... He talks funny, he looks funny. You know, whatever. He's interesting for the most part. And then he got progressively worse. And then the bug scene happened. And it was just like... It was terrible. So, Gonta is also going to be a C. He's going to be a lower C than Angie. I'd say he can be next to Gundam. You know? Nice and cozy next to Gundam there. Okay, so... Probably what people call the husbando bait. I think Rantaro is actually a super good character, and if you do his backstory, and if you search about him, and you look on the wiki, and you find out everything about him, he has such an interesting fucking thing. He is an S. Where is he? He is slightly ahead of Fuyuhiko. He is that good. He has some really fucking interesting backstory with the survivor. You know, his whole thing about his many sisters is kind of cute. He also has an interesting fetish. Let's just leave it at that. And he's also a pretty boy. Okay, so what do we have next? I need to think about this one. Just because I can't remember the name. It's the guy with the super deep voice. He was like average. You know, he didn't have much to play because he died so early. Kind of suffers from that syndrome. I think he could have had a very interesting part to play, but nonetheless, Kirumi had to kill him, so I would put him as a middle, just middle, somewhere in here. Just kind of like, I'd say these two are better just because they were... You can probably tell, by the way, that I didn't think the cast of V3 was that great. Like, overall. Well, actually, can you? 1, 2... Okay, it doesn't look like it, but... It definitely looks like the cast of 2 is the worst in my eyes, but I think overall the cast of 3 was like one of the most boring. I know that may trigger some people, but it's just how I feel. So then we have Tenko. Tenko started off as really annoying, but she definitely went up a few places in the end. I would definitely put her as an A. Where would I put her as an A? Probably right there. She could be next to Hina. You know, they're both kind of like sporty types. Yeah, that seems good to me. Okay, so last one, boys and girls. So, what's her name? I like expunged her from my memory because I hate her so much. What's her name? Shigematsu or something like that? Starts with a she, man. V3 she. What the hell is this girl's name? Shirogane. I like if you search Danganronpa V3, blue-haired girl, Sayaka comes up before Nagisa, before fucking Tsumugi. Yeah, that's very appropriate, actually. Okay, and for some reason Nagisa comes up too, even though that's a boy. Anyway. Shirogane's fucking ass. I think she was so bad. Definitely the worst character in the whole game. The whole series for me. Completely ruined it. She was like, she's such a faker, she's such an impersonator. She's so boring. I hated her, even after digesting the ending. Oh god. Whew. See, I'm getting sick. I'm getting sick just talking about her. So, yeah, she's a trash man. I'm sorry, but that was some fucking hot-ass garbage. Okay, let's take a look. What do you think of this list? How much hate mail am I gonna get? How many death threats will I get today? Hopefully no more than normal. But I'm sure some of you guys agree with my picks. You know, there's gotta be some of you out there who have some sort of beauty. Let's play some nice happy music. Think about it. We got, so this is pretty much the way to look at it. My favorite character in the whole game, the whole series, is Hajime. The worst character in the whole game is Shirogane. And then you have the middle. I think that's pretty fair. I think that's a pretty solid list if I say so myself. I think... Now, do I think some of these characters would change after I watch the anime? Of course. Now, to be fair, I am watching it, but I haven't finished all of it. Talking about 3. I've watched one's anime, but one's anime is pretty much just the game. But, yeah. Probably Izuru would probably change, yeah, probably Chihiro, maybe. You know, maybe Chiaki or something. Probably some of these I don't recognize. Like, okay, I know a lot of people like this one, I think. I think some people like her too. I think she's a bad guy. I think she hangs out with fucking Junko and shit. Maybe. Junko and Izuru. But, yeah. Anyway. This is it. We're done with the Dangan series. I will not be playing the games anymore. I'm not going to play them again. Some people ask me, oh, you're going to play them again? I'm like, no. I'm not going to play them again. I know what happens. It'd be boring. So, pretty good list if I say so myself. Let me know your favorites. I want to know your favorites, and I want to know your least favorites. Tell me your favorite character in the whole series, and tell me your least favorite character in the whole series. Don't say, though, if it's from the anime, because I won't get it. So, apologies if your favorite character from the whole series is in the anime. I find that hard to believe, though, unless there's some really fucking good ones in here I just don't know. Yeah, anyway. So, off topic, nothing to do with this. Nier Replicant comes out a couple days from now, maybe, or tomorrow. Depends when this video goes live. So I most likely will be playing it. Unless it has a really shitty PC launch, then I may have to wait. We'll see, we'll see. Alright, anyway. Alrighty, guys. So, thanks for watching my Dangan tier list. Pretty good if I say so myself, obviously. But, yeah, I'd love to hear your opinions on it, and I shall see you for whatever comes next.